Hello, my loves. Deanna here from deanna.org. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. The energy has been interesting, hasn't it? Yeah. So what I wanted to do today is share with you something really fascinating that's been happening for me over the last sort of few weeks. I've been learning about divine intelligence within my body, and it's really fascinating. And I really think that this is part of that integration of our divine nature in the spirit of self-mastery, I guess is what I want to say. And so let me explain to you what's been happening. I think I mentioned it I think even in my last video, that there's this thing going on with the lymphatic system where there's a process, a shift happening, and the lymphatic system is connected to this ascension process, or the lymphatic system within our body. So sorry, I'm trying to change this so to get a little bit more light. Anyway, so our lymphatic system is connected to the transportation of what no longer serves us from in and stuck to up and out. I think I talked about how this has been affecting my body and what I've had to do to help shift this for myself. Now, here's the really interesting thing. Is once I helped myself to shift this first layer of density that my body was letting go of within my lymphatic system, in the form of, like swelling and the lymphs not going into the bloodstream properly, whatever. This is all sort of medical stuff that you can Google. I got the flow going better, and I found that I started to cry. I've been crying so much in the last few days, and for no obvious reason. I really have no reason to be sad. I actually feel really at peace within myself, etc. So there seemed to be like this discrepancy between the response my body was having physically and how I'm feeling within myself, because I couldn't quite put my finger on it for a little bit. And then I had this insight that what was happening was that I was letting go of the energetic luggage that I had been carrying around with me. And one way that this is releasing out of my body and out of my energy, out of my aura, out of my quantum self, is through tears. And so I then, of course, did a little bit more research, did a little bit more meditating on this and channeling and writing and speaking within myself, and had this really interesting awareness or learning from my divine self. Here's how it came about. I'm going to share something really intimate with you, so just bear with me. I was born into a family that was not ready for me. My mum fell pregnant with me at 16, almost 17. And back in Eastern Europe, back in the 70s, that was like a massive, huge, no. And so my mum and dad sort of had a shotgun wedding. But I was born into that energy. Now, both my parents were very, very, very young. There was a lot of course, social pressure and stigma attached to having a baby out of wedlock. So I was born into this energy, and for as long as I can remember, I have always been aware that I was definitely unplanned, and that many lives changed drastically because of my arrival. Not necessarily that I wasn't wanted. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I certainly was not, planned. And it was necessary to take some drastic action as a result of me coming into the world. When I was then born, again, my mum was very, very, very young. She was only 17. And although she was now married to my dad, there was you can just imagine what it would be like to have a new baby at 17, to be married off to somebody that you may or may not have married anyway. And all the emotional and mental implications of that. So where I'm getting to is that as a direct result of that, there was a great deal of fear and immaturity. And so the message that I often got as a very young child, whether it was said to me directly or implied even energetically, was that I needed to be unseen, and that I couldn't be a burden. So don't be a burden, don't make noise, don't make demands, just be a good girl. And so that template that was born out of that social pressure and fear of being judged and persecuted, the energy of that, the emotional and mental charge was imprinted into my energetic body. So it's something that has been traveling with me throughout my entire life. Now, fast forward to now, to this process of healing and transcending, transforming, and arriving at self-mastery, I suddenly come to this point where I have done a lot of inner healing. All the stuff that, or much of the stuff that I could take care of myself, as in my own core wound, my own inner pain, as a direct result of those different templates. And what I'm finding myself in right now, which I haven't actually heard anybody talk about this, so I don't know how many people are actually actively participating in understanding this process. But what I'm actually now discovering is, now that the charge on many of those timelines is neutralized, those templates, they don't just have a charge, they actually have like an imprint, like a stamp, almost like a tattoo impact on the energy field, especially as children. and especially when it comes from the family of origin or whatever guardian there is while we are in those initial years of our lives or reincarnation. I'm actually now finding that this letting go is actually the letting go process of those direct imprints. It's like I'm now able to release completely those templates, those stamps, those templates that were tattooed into my aura with a charge that is now no longer needed within my body. It's like my swollen energy in which I kept and nurtured all of that shit that I inherited from people is now able to be released. Just hold on for 1 second. My battery is about to die, so I just need to get my charger. Hang on. I don't want to lose you and I have to start again. Okay. So, here's why I am putting this within the framework of self-mastery. I'm putting this into or under the umbrella of self-mastery because from what I feel, the wisdom of releasing these templates, these tattoos, these inherent programs, right, is it has to be treated with the utmost care, compassion, forgiveness, and respect. Because if at any point there is there's a temptation to send the template back within the format or any kind of ego charge in terms of like revenge or right back at you or you prick asshole shit fuck whatever, yeah, there is an instant karmic repercussion. So should you find yourself releasing a template, consciously, actively participating in the letting go process of an actual tattoo, you know, like a template, the way I did it is that I simply trusted that my body could take over from this. I allowed my physical body's intelligence, innate intelligence, to work with this energy and to let it go and send it to light. At the point of light, it will either, because of course, energy and light is information and therefore intelligent in its own way. At the point of release into light, if that lesson or template is no longer necessary and the lessons have been learned, it will simply dissolve or it will go back to sender for further work and teaching. But that decision is not made by me and my ego, nor do I want to run the risk of playing God. That's how I did it. I basically just allowed my body to release, to collaborate with my energy field consciously, send it to light, and at the point of light, that innate divine intelligence will choose accordingly. But I send it with love and light and forgiveness and compassion and gratitude and as much grace as I can muster, because this is really important. Now, here's the most amazing thing, right? The next most amazing thing. The next most amazing thing is because this template, right? So I have dealt with my own inner pain and everything that has come since the template, right? So the only reason why this tattoo template is able to live, because those lessons associated with that tattoo have been neutralized. So there's nothing to hang on to anymore. It's not required in my energy field anymore, right? So this is something that has come from somebody else. In this case, the example I gave you earlier, my family of origin. And so it is now, because it's not mine, it's going back, it's leaving me. It's somebody, it originates from somebody else's conditioning and templating. It's just that I've been walking around for the last almost 50 years in this body, having this template tattooed energetically in my energy field, so that I can learn all the relevant lessons associated with that particular energetic program. Yeah. But so it's essentially somebody else, I'm carrying somebody else's burden in my energy field. Now that I've let it go, as it's leaving me, this is why I'm not feeling within myself heartbreak, sadness, grief, any residual anger or anything like that. Because this is just leaving my body. My body is allowing it to leave. The only reason why I know that this is leaving is because I'm crying. It's part of the release. But inside of me, there's no emotional charge. I'm very much at peace. There's no mental strain. There's no resistance. There's none of that. So my point is that those templates, programs that are leaving us, that are not there created by us, but they are sent to us from somebody else. When those templates are leaving, there should be nothing, from my experience, that there should be no response within you on the emotional and the mental plane, as in body. So this is really amazing, and it's very different to the letting go healing process that happens within us when we are healing our own wounds, our own reactions, the pain that was created in our body as a result of our own, inner disharmony. So I hope that makes sense. And I was able to share this with you in a way that when you experience it, you know the difference between the process of letting go, that's a collaboration and creation, a direct response and creation from within yourself, and the template or the program that's embedded in your energy that you're letting go. Yeah, there's an energetic, there's a different consciousness around this, and most certainly a different response. Perhaps this is why the emotional and mental body are more at 0 point and at neutral, and it is actually the physical intelligence, the physical body, and the energetic, the quantum divine self that are doing the work together instead. So this is really quite fascinating and quite amazing. And this also goes towards what I'm also noticing is that this process for me has a lot to do with the dysfunctional, disharmonious feminine energy rather than the masculine, which is very interesting. So this work, wow, really? Oh, okay, hang on. Sorry. Yeah. This is really quite different in my world. Look at that. It's the 9 of Pentacles. It is the grounded feminine in the physical. It's the abundant, in love, appreciation for nature, integrated, embodied, divine feminine energy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And of course, the falcon here representing that high wisdom. It's really quite special. Really quite special. So that's the vibration or the energetic. So working with the physical, obviously the pentacles being about the physical plane. What I'm also hearing is that it's the process of clearing the cupboard, as in the body, out, so that it's energetically empty of the old, and so the new higher divine templates can come in. Oh, of course. So this is like the codes of light. The pentacles, actually like the codes of light. And look at that beautiful pattern also on the garb that this woman is wearing. Yeah, an enormous amount of abundance in every way. But there is like a hold, like it's landing. See how the falcon has landed? There's that stillness, that hang on, the don't move process now, so that the stuff, the riches of the two planes can come in. And then I've got this other card called Trust Your Vibes. I don't use it very often, but they're oracle cards, and the card that's come out is Talk Shop. And what catches my eye is the heart. There's two people representing collaboration, and there's the heart in the middle. And what I'm getting from this is to obviously be able to speak from the heart, and also focus and talk about things we are passionate about. Because what I'm actually being drawn to, I don't know if you can see it. See those, where am I? God, I'm going to get this right one of these days. See these things? It's like a chain. It looks like a chain. It's like it's saying that we are all connected anyway. So when we focus on speaking our heart, centered, our passions, our divine passion, the things about we love, and we talk to those that will really hear us or share the same passion, we are definitely shifting the vibration on the planet. And then, of course, the other thing that I'm seeing, well, there's actually two things. It's really interesting. See that little squiggle? It's like that allows us to really see each other for who and what we are, because the third eye opens more to see who we really are when we talk to those that we can connect to at that heart level. But there's something here about this bubble here actually reminds me of a tooth. And I want to say that there's something here about the chompers. And the roots, the core of our being, but also the core of our okay, I'm seeing a skeleton now. Oh, okay. So yeah, the crystalline skeleton, that age of Aquarius where the crystal skull, that's the words I'm hearing. The crystal skull is being activated to see past the illusions, past the veils that separate us, past the illusions of the veils that separate us, so that our pineal and pituitary glands are purified and upgraded to hold the light necessary for us to evolve within this age of Aquarius. Well, that's really interesting. And of course, this card is number 17. 17 itself holds a really high vibration, but it's a number 8, which is infinity. And I just asked within myself, how is this all connected to the message that I was giving you earlier? And it's very simple. It's connected in that this is where we are now, in that holding pattern, waiting for the energy to come in. And while we are waiting, these upgrades are happening to us, and we help ourselves with these transitions through speaking to others like others, people that are passionate about the same things, speaking with passion, being integrated within what we love, as much in that energy as possible, so that our third eye can open more, we can see better, as in I'm talking about that inner sight and psychic eye that sees others for what and who they truly are. This is not to judge, but just for the purposes of conscious awareness. The crystal skull, it's all being activated now specifically. So lots of ear buzzing, potentially dizziness, lots of upgrades in the third eye and crown chakras, the chakras behind the little centers, and then of course also the throat chakra. So everything, so once we are really solid in our heart chakra, the higher heart opens, it aligns with higher intelligence, and then all of this other stuff helps propel us forward. This is really quite fascinating. Of course, as always, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm already at 30 minutes. I can't believe it. Mwah. And I will talk to you soon. Please, 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 if this resonates, any of this, work, energetic work that's happening at the moment. Please share this video so that other people can learn, become aware, keep an eye out for these changes within their energy space. And yeah, okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.